welcome to Coloring Your Quilts, Part 3. I think this is something you may enjoy. Let's take a walk down memory lane to your childhood. Here we go. One way to color your quilt is to use colored pencils. It doesn't matter what kind you use, however, better pencils give you better results. The Prismacolors are excellent. The Derwents are also very good. Today, since I have more of those, I'll be working with the Derwents today. So let me show you how this works. We're going to be coloring these fall leaves, which can go into our quilt. And I downloaded this design, and unfortunately, I downloaded aspen leaves, and they're not as pretty as some, but we'll work with it. Let's get some of the colors that happen with the aspen leaves. So we're going to start out with a little bit of yellow, just around the vein area, because that's the way it sort of happens in nature. The one nice thing about doing this, it's real easy to stay in the lines because the thread keeps you there. So we're just going to keep on coloring. Now I do have some stabilizer that I cheated and did this on my embroidery machine. So I still have the stabilizer on there. You want to have something smooth underneath when you're doing the coloring, so that in this case I'm working on a wood table. I wouldn't want the wood grain coming through unless I was coloring a tree, I guess. So let's just go in here. We're going to do some coloring here and there. This was one of the things I loved to do when I was a kid. My parents didn't have a whole lot of money, so we didn't go on any family vacations. But every year I got to go to my grandma and grandpa's house, and they had a huge back porch. And every year when I was there, I got a brand new box of crayons. And I would sit out there for hours just coloring. That was one of the best parts of summer when I was growing up. When I later got married and had a daughter of my own, her and I used to sit together and do a lot of coloring. So that was kind of fun as well. So let's blend in some more color. And the nice thing about colored pencils is you actually can blend. I don't know how many of you have ever tried that or not, but I'm going right up next to the yellow. And I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit so it's not real boring for you. I could sit and color for hours, but you probably don't want to sit and watch me. So we've got that on there now. We want to blend it a little bit, so let's just go over it with the yellow and see how that sort of pinkish color now has more of an orangish cast to it. And that's how you blend in with the colored pencils. Another way of doing it is with mineral spirits, but you surely don't want to do that on a quilt. It wouldn't do too well on for your fabrics. Now let's do, this is supposed to be a red. That looks like what we just used. It's redder, but it's more of a pink cast. So let's find a better one. I'll use my other box of crayons. See if I can find something better. Seems all the colored pencils are towards the pink side, but we'll work with that. We're just going to color this in. And again, we're going to speed this up a little bit so you don't fall asleep watching this. And you can make this, the color as intense as you want, depending on how hard you press. So if you want really vivid leaves, just press harder. You can do this however you want. This is your quilt, so there is no wrong or right to it. It's however you want to make it. I like the brightness of the leaves. That's one of the things that I miss since I moved away from Pennsylvania. They had such beautiful leaves in the fall, and I do miss that. We have color changes in Virginia, but it's not as intense. So I miss the old ones that I used to see when I was growing up. So fall is one of my favorite times of the year, and it's mainly because of the colored leaves that makes everything so pretty. So, not real crazy about that, so maybe we'll try going over that with an orange. If we can turn it down more. I don't have a whole lot of colored pencils here, so we're going to try doing that. And this time I'm going to basically go over everything, just so it blends all in. I'm going to speed this up a little bit for you now. I'm just basically going over the entire leaf with the orange to try to blend all the colors together, just like Mother Nature would do. Of course, I'll never be able to come up with her beauty, but we'll do our best on this. I can see that it's starting to shape up more like a fall leaf. The colors are tying in, and I think it's going to turn out pretty good. What do you think? Okay, now we're ready to set the colored pencils. I've put a piece of plastic wrap down to protect my table. I've got the piece that we colored with the pencils. I did take the backing off that was on there before. So now we just have the fabric. And we're going to take a little bit of this textile medium and shake it up. Then we're going to pour some in a cup. And you can see it comes out white. But that's okay. Elmer's glue comes out white and then it dries clear. So don't let that worry you. So we're going to take this, load it on the brush, and just paint over top of what you've done. You don't have to worry about staying in the lines. You're not going to spread the colored pencil around. It's going to stay right where you put it, which is a nice thing, especially when you're using a big brush like this and you've got little tiny leaves like this. But this is making the colored pencil become a part of the fabric. So there's no fear when it comes time to wash it, it'll go through the washer just like as if you bought the fabric with that design already on it. And that's how easy it is to prepare your colored pencil coloring for your quilt and make it ready to go into the laundry. Now here is a wall hanging that I did with colored pencils. I took my grandkids' school pictures, copied them, blew them up, and traced them onto fabric, and then colored it all in with colored pencils. It turned out pretty good. Make sure you check out part 4 for yet another way to color your quilt. I hope you've enjoyed this video and will stay tuned for the next one. Please join us at Sit Down Free Motion Quilters for more quilting fun, located on Facebook.